Hello, hello. Welcome back. I feel like I haven't made a video in years. It has been a week. And so much has happened, so much has transpired. We are in wild times energetically, is what I'll say. And we're really in the bridge in between the old world and the new world. So it really is an exciting time to be alive. But I know in those void spaces, it can feel like nothing is happening and you feel impatient and a little restless and like, all right, let's get this train rolling already. Let's get this race going. Full chills as I say that. And it's just like you've been ready to rock and roll and you're waiting for the fucking concert to start. You know, when you go to a show and it like you just sort of feel like it takes forever for the artist to come out. Like that's kind of where we're at. We're like, we've got our drink, we're revved up, we're at the show, we're ready to roll. And the artist just is like delay, 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 delay. I remember going to see like Jay-Z one time. This was like before we knew his character a bit, but this was probably like 15 years ago in New York at the Barclays Center. And I like waited like an hour and a half for him to come out. I'm like, Jay-Z doesn't give a fuck. He comes out when he pleases. But that was back in the day when you had stamina to stay out till 1 a.m. At a Jay-Z show, you know? So that's kind of the energy. It's like we're waiting, waiting. And what like keeps like coming in for me, like spirit keeps telling me and reaffirming for me is like enjoy this limbo space, like enjoy this period of rest, enjoy this period of integration, of planting seeds, of planning things out. Because come February, like things were like we're in the fucking rock show, and it's like yeah, like a concert can be fun for like a few hours, but like imagine a whole year of like you're at the fucking concert. Like like when will the fucking concert end? Like end like I'm ready to go to bed. Like we're going to be like in the fucking rock show the whole year. And so just really enjoy this period of rest and integration and like enjoy the abundance of this limbo state because let me tell you, we are going to be rocking and rolling in like 6 weeks' time. So, again, just really take this time to like really re-nourish yourself, reparent yourself, really establish your new identity because, like, when you can just take that time to do the shadow work, to do the integration work, to do the nervous system work, to do the like identity work, like you will just be so much further faster than anything that you could ever do externally and in the 3D. Like when I look back at my journey, I'm like, man, I wish I would have just like when I started my awakening journey, started with the identity and nervous system work because it's just like I wonder where I would have been. Like it's like everything is just an internal shift. And so when you just always know that everything is just an internal shift, like all of the work just becomes like the game with you and yourself. And your relationship with you that you have with yourself really sets the tone. And so much of the relationship that you have with yourself is the ingrained patterns within your nervous system. And that affects your identity of how you see, view, and value yourself. And you know that your identity was really set into stone from your childhood. And really so much of the way the world works, like that we think like our familial patterns and like the way in which we existed and got our needs met like within like the family dynamics is how we go out expecting the world to work and operate. And so, so much of that like masculine and feminine that we was ingrained in us from like a young age from our parents and from our lineage is how we go and operate through the world. And so much of the work really is reintegrating and rebalancing your masculine energy. And that's all prevalent right now and prominent right now because we have a full moon in Capricorn this week. Sorry, full moon in Cancer in Capricorn, we have a Capricorn stellium that really is the axis of your family and your success and your parents, your mother, the father. And what's so interesting about the astrology is that both we're going to have like 3 Kazimis of this Capricorn season. We'll have Mars, I believe it's January 4th. Then we'll have Venus January 9th. And then I think Mercury is like January 9th also. And so we also in 2025 had Venus and Mars retrograde. And so them Kaziming with the sun is like they were being reset by the sun. And so like this first week of January really is about like, which is crazy that I'm saying that. It's like recentering and rebalancing your inner masculine and feminine. And it also is in alignment with that I keep wanting to say Capricorn full moon, but full moon in Cancer, because your Cancer is your inner child, and like the Capricorn is like your inner authority, your inner sense of responsibility, and like the way that you like parent yourself and mother yourself. And so that really sets the tone for a beautiful relationship with yourself. When you can have like a strong, nurturing, loving, caring relationship with your inner child, and then also be like a really strong inner adult to yourself, and be really grounded and centered in your masculine and feminine, the doing and the being. Like really, like that is a recipe for you to be unstoppable. And so there again, like this first week of January in Capricorn season is really about that integration, that inner integration of the mother, your inner mother and your inner father and your inner child and your inner adult, and that inner masculine and feminine, like really integrating the queen and the king, and doing that nervous system and identity work to really expand your capacity to hold yourself in new profound ways, because Capricorn has fucking capacity is what I'll say. I would love to know, I was thinking about this like before filming this, I would love to know what like a regular Capricorn placement feels like, because I have Capricorn in my 12th house. I have a Capricorn stellium there. Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, in my 12th house conjunct Neptune. Like so much of my work has been trying to find Capricorn, like like where is it? Where is the structure? Where is the authority? Where is the discipline? Like, and it's not that like I'm not disciplined, because I'm a very disciplined person, but like I'm like I would love to know what like easy access to that energy would feel like. And that's why I kind of feel like kind of so much of my work is on like Capricorn and Pisces, to be honest, because that is like so much of my chart is in that energy, but Pisces is so unseen and my Capricorn is so unseen. And so it's really, for me, like so much of my work has been like making those 2 parts of my chart like seen and making it conscious, so that it's not like dictating my life, right? And we call it fate. Like that's like why shadow work has been so profound for me. It's like really been making my 12th house conscious. And so for you, like you might actually be like too Capricorn, right? Like you might be too adult, too overly responsible, too like work hard, push effort. I find people generally are too masculine or not masculine enough. And especially in women, like women either are like oldest daughters, they are their own father figure and they're the father figure for everyone else, or they've had to really learn to integrate their own inner father figure for themselves, because they're more in like a free state. And I really find that there is a big correlation between the father and a free state within the nervous system. And so and what I'll say is like that process of reintegrating your inner father, your inner authority, and that inner structure, that inner safety, that inner foundation, being your own source of security, your own sense of safety, your own sense of source of stability, of support. It's about coming back into your body. And in order to do that, it's like reparenting your inner child, which is relevant with this full moon in Cancer, because Cancer is your inner child, and really tending to your moon and nurturing your moon and nurturing your inner child, And when you are reparenting your inner child, it's it's not it's not like it's like the way that it's like endless self-compassion. Like that's like the what I want to say. It's like endless self-love and self-compassion. And it's about developing that inner self-trust with yourself and really learning to trust yourself and respect yourself. And like that is kind of like the Capricorn like polarity of, and go back and watch my other video on the Capricorn Cancer axis because I think it's really one of the most profound axes in the birth chart, because it's about your inner foundations, your emotional foundations that allow you to have the pinnacle of success. And so that looks like having a really strong relationship with your inner child, being a good inner mother to your inner child, and also having the authority, the discipline, the structure, the responsibility, the discipline, the commitment to give yourself everything that you want. Because again, it's like everything comes back to relationship you have with yourself. So it's not looking for something outside of you. It's not looking for your mother or your father to be a certain way. It's like, how do I actually just be the divine mother and the divine father for myself? And from there, the external world will reflect things back to you in a different way. And so astrologically, there is this really just kind of beautiful reset energy happening. January for me really is like the reset month. Capricorn season really is this reset month. February is going to be bananas. And that's why I'm not really doing like a breakdown of the astrology for 2026, because it really kind of is happening in like different chunks and different parts. And like it really, I feel like, depends on kind of where the collective consciousness is, how it's going to go, because the more people awaken, the more light that is brought onto the planet, and the more that changes our destiny as like a society. And so really, I feel like very strongly 2026 is going to be a year that a lot of people wake up, so to speak, like to even just some of like the more corrupt things that are happening in the world. Capricorn, I'm not like, speaking of corruption, Capricorn, that is, Capricorn is like the society structures, right? It is like the government, it is big business, it is the responsibility of these corporate structures, like to have the society's best interest in mind, which really is Aquarius. And so Pluto moving through Aquarius, it's like we're waking up to this idea of like all of these kind of government structures, banks, businesses are, they're not necessarily have the best interest of the society as a whole in mind. And so I don't know, I think a lot of people are going to be waking up. And so I think the more that people wake up, the more people's consciousness raises, the more it will positively affect how the year goes. And I think so much of 2025 was challenging for people because so much had to be dismantled, because it was built on like false facades. And that really is kind of Pisces. Like, no matter, like, I keep feeling this very strong, like no matter how this year went for you, just know it was extremely fated, because we had Neptune in Pisces moving in and out of Pisces. We had Saturn moving in and out of Pisces. We had the North Node in Pisces. We had a Venus retrograde in Pisces conjunct the North Node and Saturn. So there was so much karma kind of getting cleared this year in 2025. It was a 9-year. It was a year of a snake. It was like a transformative year. Like, I will look back on this year and be like, that so much transformed for me in this year. And so I just like to say that, because it doesn't always make sense when you're going through it, like why something had to play out the way that it did. And I was like, even like, I always remind myself of the things and the contrast and the challenges that I overcame. And I'm like, well, actually, the thing that's coming through to say is that sometimes the hardest way to go through something is the fastest way. I know that for sure for me. Like, I sometimes, like, the fastest way to learn a lesson is through the heartbreak, is through the loss is through the most painful experience of your life. But unfortunately, as humans, we learn through pain. We're either motivated by love or we're motivated by pain. And maybe as a society, that's the shift. We got to start being more motivated by love, right? And by joy and by the heart instead of not from pain and suffering, right? Like maybe that's the switch. Can you be motivated by how good life is going to get and how magical and joyful and blissful it will be if you go down this path instead of having to learn through the contrast, right? And I know for me, my motivation has always been my inner child. Like I just want to give my inner child everything that she desires and deserves. And she was just like the happiest. I mean, she still is. She's just the happiest, silliest, most playful, loving, bright, shiny thing on earth. And like, so she's always my strong why. She's always my motivation. And I've had to fight so hard to get back to her. And, but on the road back to her, on the journey back to being her, to embodying her again, to letting her shine through and like magnetize. Because think about how magnetic children are. Kids are so magnetic, right? They are powerful manifestors. And so when you can actually really let your heart do the heavy lifting and the hard work for you, it's like that's your magnetism. And so can you make the motivation your inner child and connecting back to your joy, because your joy is your natural state, your abundance is your natural state, receiving is your natural state, love is your natural state. And so when you can make that your motivation, you can endure the how, right? You can endure the why. And that really, again, I think I've talked about this in another video recently, like the man's search for meaning. He's like, when you have a really strong why, you can endure the how. And when you can be connected to your heart and to your family, right? Which is the full moon in Cancer, it's about your heart and your family and your inner child. That is a really strong foundation for you to endure the however it takes to be successful. And that is the Capricorn. Capricorn has the willpower to be successful no matter what. And it really also is about, raising your standards for your level of living. Like if you wouldn't tolerate that shit for a child, if you wouldn't tolerate that shit for your inner child, if you wouldn't it's a fucking no. Like if you're going out on a date with a dude and you would never let this dude like babysit your inner child. I don't know why that's like, you would never let this guy spend why are you letting him spend time with this version of yourself, right? Like this dude isn't good enough for your inner child. Like if you wouldn't be a good father for your inner child, like it's like that, let that just be your filter, right? And it's like, is this what you would want for your inner child? Like you can even just think about it as like your kid. Like, would you want this for your child? Like, would you want this treatment for your child, or would you want the world for them? And then making that the standard for yourself. And, I think sometimes knowing we've spent our lives being like, settling or not being treated properly well, or just places where we have abandoned our inner child, it can bring up a lot of emotions. And so this week, this Capricorn season is going to be a time where it's going to be really important for you to let yourself process those emotions and those feelings, whatever it may be, whether it be, grieving past versions of yourself, whether it be, really apologizing and reconciling with younger versions of yourself, whether it be connecting back to your why, connecting back to your heart, connecting back to your inner child, and just really, really reconnecting to your why. Like, why are you doing it? Why do you want what you want? Why do you want the desires that you say that you want? Like, what is the emotion that you think that you want? What is the emotion that you think is going to make you happy? And what, on the other side of that, what is the emotion standing in your way from having the thing? And, I can just say for myself, like, I have moved through so much fucking fear on my journey. Like, I have cleared so much fear from my body on my journey. But I was doing shadow work last night around like what my 2025 goals were and like why I didn't achieve some of the things that I said I was going to achieve or like do. And so much of it just came back to fear. I was just like, oh my God, the fear just like like we're just always clearing fear, right? And so I had to get really honest with myself about like where I was still letting fear kind of drive decisions and, my actions and behaviors or beliefs. And it's like, can we just consciously and constantly always kind of have that kind of inner dialogue with ourselves? It's like, well, I actually have to mature in my adulthood to my inner child then. Like if I say I'm going to give her these things and I want 2026 to go this way, then I have to like be more responsible and mature and committed and devoted to my inner child and not let fear like get in my way, because I know what happens when fear gets in my way and it doesn't get me what I want, right? And so it's like, can you sacrifice temporary discomfort for long-term satisfaction, which really is, entrepreneurship 101. It's like, can you delay satisfaction? Can you delay reward for temporary pain? And I think that's really like even just my work in sports and with athletes, like that's what athletes have to be really good at. You have to be willing to trade temporary and momentarily discomfort for long-term gain and reward. And athletes just are willing to put in that willpower, put in that work, put in that effort day in and day out and suffer in the short term to be rewarded and live like a champion, in the words of Muhammad Ali, right? um he was willing to suffer to be a long-term champion, right? And that really is the epitome of Capricorn. And that's not saying that like the suffering is like painful in the same way that like athletes have to like endure kind of pain and challenge like through like a workout or whatever. But like, when you go through a hard workout, you get those endorphins afterwards. You get those happy drugs after you finish the workout, right? And so it's like kind of that, like it actually can, maybe some of it is like, short-term satisfaction. Like you suffer for an hour, but then you feel so much better throughout your day after, right? I know I always feel so much better after. And I know I always just, when I was shifting my identity around my body and my relationship with my body, like 10 years ago, it was always like I would always avoid working out because of the discomfort that you feel working out, right? Confirmation, but I just trained my brain to how good I was going to feel afterwards. And so now I don't even question if I'm going to work out or move every day. It's like, no, I'm going to feel so much better once I do it. So I don't even question it. And so it's like, what are those things that you just need to make a part of your identity moving forward? Because it's going to get you to where you want to go. And it's going to feel so much better on the other side. But you have to be willing to get temporarily discomforted. Am I speaking fucking English? I don't know. But it's like you have to trade the short-term pain or suffering or discomfort for the long-term gain. And being willing to endure the how, because you have a strong why. And so there's some sort of recalibration that is happening internally this week and this month. And, like if you're here, you're doing the work, you're already like so far ahead of everyone else because you're willing to do the work that so many people avoid, which is why you're going to be happier than so many people. Because it's like, I've done the fucking work to be happy. Like I wake up happy every single day, but I did the work to clear out the emotions that weren't keeping me happy. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty simple actually. At the end of the day, you have to just be willing to face the emotions that most people aren't willing to face. And if I can tell you anything, this is the wound that I had to clear. I have Jupiter conjunct Chiron in my 6th house. Like literally feeling and expressing and moving through emotions is a part of like my daily hygiene. And it literally is the thing that contributes to my health. Your emotions are either, I really believe this strongly, this probably is controversial, but like I either think your emotions are contributing to the vitality and the quality of your life, or they are literally poisoning your body. And so I think so much of our illness is directly contributed to the negative, dark, deep, dense emotions that we won't allow ourselves to feel. And but like it's the same emotions are the same way that like working out sucks when you feel them, but afterwards you feel so much better. Like emotions are the exact same way. Like it sucks like in the moment when you're experiencing it, but then on the other side it's like there's so much openness and expansion, and we're really moving into a feeling first reality. Um, I've had to really like almost like learn intuition in a different way this year because my intuition used to be so cognizant and like hearing, like I used to hear um oh my god, clairaudience used to be like my strongest sense. Like I would like when I had my awakening, like I thought I was going crazy because I just like heard voices in my head all the time. Like I always joked that was going to be like the title of my memoir. Voices in my head, like six placements in air. Hello, like there was a constant conversation going on up here, but so much of that was because my nervous system was dysregulated, right? And so when I learned to come back into my body, my intuition changed, and now I have more of like a feeling, which is more of a sentient intuition. And so it's more learning to trust how I'm feeling rather than relying on my audience. I mean, I still am very clear, like cognizant, which is clear knowing, and I have like like all the clairs are like turned on, but it's like my main one is now feeling, where it's like, can I learn to trust my feelings? Which is someone who has six placements in air, like is such a foreign fucking concept. I'm like, what do you mean I'm trusting my feelings now? It's like, I feel like I should go do this. Then it's like, that's what I have to go do. I feel like I should just let myself process this emotion. Then that's what I do. If I feel like I should call this person, then that's what I do, you know? And it's like, I have a weird feeling about this. And then something happens, you know, it's just like really trusting that feeling. And it's so subtle, but in order to be really, and what I'll say too is like to really connect to your future self and really be a powerful manifester, it really is. You have to be able to feel the feeling in your body, which means you have to come back into your body and you have to clear out the emotions that's preventing you from feeling that emotion. And so much of this is like Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, which I highly recommend. Like I've been reading his book for like decades. Um, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is one of my favorites. I might actually like reread that like now going into the new year, because it's so much about just like you're using your body as like a technology to manifest what you want, which is really feeling your feelings, feeling your emotions. And really hydration is going to be like so big moving forward, and like we're really going to be moving more towards having more water in our bodies is really kind of what I feel. And really, I mean, like if you've ever done a water fast, you know, like how fucking psychic and intuitive you become like on that water fast. And I'm like, you know, just really as intuitively, like kind of, you know, just really even questioning like why we need to eat as much as we do. And that is like that's like kind of Taurus. Like we, you know, we get to enjoy the sensual pleasures while we're here on earth. But so much of that is like the shadow side of Cancer where we like eat to like numb our feelings. And I know that's for me, like eating and food was how I self-regulated as a kid. That's why like for me doing shadow work literally like allowed me to drop like 30 pounds because I was no longer using food as a way to emotionally numb myself. And so much like when we learn to move through our emotions, our bodies just become naturally lighter. And when you feel light and when you feel good, you don't want food like bogging you down. Like food is a powerful support for us as humans. And like I know for me, like I know my brain needs food. But like I don't necessarily, I look at it more as like my brain needs food more than like my body needs food. Like our bodies need more like there's a reason our bodies need water more than they need food. And but again, it's like those sensual pleasures that we're here to indulge in and have. And it's really just connecting to your body deeper because when you're connected to your body and you've cleared your emotions, your body's going to tell you everything that you need. Like I'm just constantly in connection with our bodies. And, you know, Cancer is about your body and your nourishment and your emotions. And I think we're just going to learn how much our emotions contribute to our overall health. And so really look to your moon, like look to your moon. Like I could just literally all I want to do is talk about people's moons and the moon and the cycles and the time, like the cycles of the moon. Like the moon has 4 cycles, our cycle has 4 cycles. Like, we're so attuned to the moon as women. And so when you can learn to nurture again, your moon is your inner child, it is your body, it is your emotions, it is your family, it is your mother. And from a perspective of your heart, Cancer is your inner heart, it's the breasts, right? It's about nourishing yourself. Like that's why women breastfeed, because it's like there's that nourishment, that oxytocin, that bonding that you get um through the mother, right? Through the breast, through the heart. And you know, as women, we have oxytocin driven nervous systems. And so that's like, if I could just like literally blast everyone with like one piece of information, like the collective with one piece of information, it's like women, we have oxytocin driven nervous system, men have dopamine driven nervous systems. Everything was designed on the way that the male body works and not the female body. And so that is why women have success but don't feel good, and men are fine with like, why do they feel great? And I mean, like, we're not like too worried about men, right? Like they're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Everything is designed for them, right? But like why are we doing the exact same thing, but women's health is like not like collectively, like women can't get pregnant. They have 90% of the autoimmune diseases in the world. Like they're stressed out. You know, doing IVF, like all these things. And it's like, yeah, because you're doing the same thing as a man, not knowing that your nervous system is different. And your men, when they do good, they feel good. Women, when they feel good, they do good. And it's like you actually like need to nourish and nurture yourself first, and you need to have connection, you need to have bonding, you need to have love, and then you can go out and do good. And so it's like this year, can we just commit to feeling good every single day? Because when you can make your devotion and your discipline and your commitment to yourself and you feeling good, then it's like it reprioritizes everything in your life. And then success is actually going to feel good because, again, it was connected to that why. And so for me, I am so just, and too, when you're devoted to feeling good, like your habits change, your relationships with food change, your relationships change, like your relationship with yourself changes. Like you can just have that inner dialogue with yourself, is like, is this going to be something that makes me feel good, right? Like, is this supporting the way that I want to feel? And it's getting so clear on how you want to feel and how you want success to feel and how you want your life to feel. And how on like that, let that be your driving motivating factor, because when it's connected to you feeling good, it's going to feel different. And so this month, this Capricorn season, this full moon in Cancer, it's really connecting back to your emotions, connecting back to your body, connecting back to your heart. This is why this is why I do all of the work that I do, because I'm so passionate about women living from their hearts and creating a life that feels fucking amazing. Because when you feel good, your light turns on and you have an inner to outer glow up, because when you feel good, you look good. And we approach like beauty and femininity from just like this external place, when it's like, it's actually like, start like clear your shame, your internal shame, connect back to your heart, feel your emotions, your light will turn on and you will just look so much better as a result. And like how you have a glow up in 2026 is you look inward first and you shift that relationship that you have with yourself. You open your heart, you connect to your inner child. And from there, literally everything shifts. Like you wake up happy, you wake up feeling alive and aligned, wake up feeling on purpose. You're so excited to start the day. Like you become your own like model and muse, and you like love the like expressing yourself. And like every day is just like a fucking catwalk, because you're like, I'm just the model, I'm expressing myself, I'm like, the jetway is my runway, baby. Like life just gets to be so fucking fun from that place of you loving yourself and you connecting to yourself and you really taking care of yourself and really being that parent and that mother to yourself, and really letting that inner child again run amok. And because your inner child and your heart is your magnetism, and people who are magnetic, they're in their body. And, it's really clearing those emotions, those distortions from your body so that you can get everything that you want and look and be your best, really. Just be your hottest and happiest self in 2026. So, confirmation. I'm going to end it there. Big, big, powerful week. It's going to feel so much softer, I think, January than it's been. So really enjoy it. And again, just really enjoy that recalibration. It's a perfect time to do the internal work. If you want support doing this, definitely come join me inside the 60-day club. We're going to do all of the work that I just talked about in this video, one-on-one with me every day. Like, we're getting you in alignment so that you can be your hottest and happiest self in 2026, have a full head to toe glow up, shift your identity, expand your capacity to receive, expand your nervous system, work with your nervous system. My one-on-one containers are my absolute favorite. So if you're feeling called, definitely book in for that, because you're going to want to be in your identity come February 17th. So I'll post a link for that below. And you can also book a one-on-one session with me. We'll go through your 2026 transits and what you need to know so that you can have customized direction and support, having the best year of your life, and really get aligned with the true highest octave embodied expression of your birth chart. So sending you so much love. Everything is in the show notes, and have a great week. Bye, guys.